How's everyone doing today? It's the kind of energy I need for 45 minutes, okay? I want to survey the room just to understand, because I tweaked the presentation a little bit this morning because I talked to some of you guys yesterday, kind of figured out where everyone was at. Could you stand up if you're doing over 100K a month in your business? Stand up. Stand up. Okay, if you're doing, stay up. If you're doing 50K a month or more, stand up. 25K a month or more, stand up. Stay standing, please. And then 10K a month, stand up. Awesome, cool, thank you guys. Thank you so much. I just need to get a gauge on the room to understand exactly how to cater this. Some of this stuff is gonna be, you guys are gonna learn a bunch of tactical stuff from a bunch of other people. I figured, like, if I were talking to myself 4 or 5 years ago, when I was doing maybe like 25, 30K a month, what would I need to know back then, like just to simplify it down to get to the point where I'm at today? For reference, we're at about a 20 million run rate per year. Hopefully by next year we'll get to about 25 plus. And I put this on this morning because I was listening to Daniel talk, and he was saying the only difference between me and you guys is time and reps, and it's 100% true. So I tried to pull some old screenshots while I was in the back of the room today. This is me in August 2019. I'm in my parents' bedroom, super diligent. There's like 3 notebooks in front of me, all filled with notes from speakers like myself, who I used to listen to at the time. And I was literally doing nothing. I was maybe making like 10K a month, 15K a month max, working out of a bedroom. 2020, January, me, my now wife at the time, she was my girlfriend, my best friend. This was the entire team, January 2020. By the end of 2020, we got an office. We could only afford 3 double desks, so we fit 6 people in that office. By then, we're still doing like sub 50K a month at the time. Sorry. Then I couldn't find any photos between 2020 and 2023 in time. So for what it's worth, between this time of having like a team of 5 or 6 people and now, which is exactly 3 years later, we've grown to over $1.5 million a month and about 180 team members as of today. So I've done this all in a 3-year span, and it's because I spent so much time sharpening my axe before I swung it, is how people like to put it. And so today I want to share with you, as simple as possible, the 4 things that you actually need to care about in your agency to get to the point where I'm at, okay? And I know at a high level view, we all understand the agency model. It's get more clients than you lose, and you scale up. But I'm gonna break it down a little bit to certain metrics that we track in our company, which has allowed us to jump so quickly in just the past 3 years. So 4 things you need to build an 8-figure agency. Write this one down. Customer lifespan. This is the most important one. How long does a customer actually stay with you? A lot of you guys are just focused on getting a customer, and I think now you're starting to understand how much work it takes to get a customer, and the easier part is just keeping the customer. But we spend so much time trying to figure out how to get the customer instead of how do we keep them longer. If I have a customer that leaves every 3 months on average, then every 3 months I have to find a new customer. If I have one that leaves every year on average, I have to do 4 times less work to find customers to grow my business. And so, obviously, I need to reduce my churn percentage. This is like the most important number in our business. We track churn per service, per team, per department. Like, not like company-wide, we churn 10% of clients a month. We're saying like, this team churns 5% of clients a month. This team churns 12.5% of clients a month. Why are the numbers off? And so this is like one of the most important numbers for our finance team, more than anything. The lower the churn, obviously, the longer the client stays, right? So let me give you a perspective of why churn is so important. At the scale that you guys are at in the room, it may not feel like a big deal if 10% of your clients leave, right? If you're doing 100 a month and 10% churn every month, that means every month you lose 10K of customers, okay? Which is kind of easy at that scale to go get 10K more customers every single month. But let's jump to 800K a month, which is an 8-figure business. If I lose 10% of my customers every month, I have to sell 80 grand a month more of new business revenue just to be able to match what I had. And the reality is, as you guys know, you start hiring ahead. And so really I'm at a loss if I close 80K more. I actually got to close like 100K more a month as I grow to be able to compensate for this. Does this make sense? We're on the same page? And so at one point I remember sitting down when I was like at maybe like 50, 60K a month, and I drew out if we have like a 10% churn and we add 30K a month of revenue, how many months we could keep growing before we finally hit a ceiling. And if you guys really sit down, you take the number that you're at right now, you put it on the board, and you put like a 10% churn rate next to it, and you say, okay, every month we're gonna lose 10%, but we're gonna add 30K of customers. Then we're gonna lose 10%, then we're gonna add 30K customers. You'll realize in a matter of like 6 months, your business stops growing. It's physically impossible for you to acquire 30K of customers and grow. And so this is one of the most definitive numbers in the business. And it all comes down to one thing. I was talking to Ryan McGinn earlier. We were kind of talking about this. And I gave him this solution, which I'm about to show you, which pretty much solves all of his business problems. So real quick, if I told you guys that if you worked with me, I would double your agency in 60 days, would you be excited? Can I get a hands up if you got excited about that? Okay, cool. If I worked with you for 60 days and instead of doubling, we only ended up growing by 20%, how many of you would be excited? Raise your hands. Look at the difference in the room. Most businesses can't even grow 20% a year. But because I set the expectation that we're gonna double in 60 days, there's 80% disappointment in this room if we grew by 20%. And this is what most of you guys are doing with your customers when they sign up. In the sales process and the onboarding process. You're promising them up here, you know you're gonna hit right here, and even though right here is fucking amazing, because it's not right here where they were sold on, then they're disappointed, okay? And so I want you to re-tamper the expectations. You need to set better expectations on the sales call and in the onboarding process. You need to reiterate it over and over again. I'll give you an example. I was talking to Ryan, and he's like, bro, biggest problem is all these clients want me. They want me to fly out. They want me to be on a video. And when I put Luis in front of them, Luis is the mastermind behind this whole thing, but they just bitch and they say, oh, we want Ryan. We didn't pay for Luis. We want Ryan here. We want Ryan to do that. And so it's making it hard for him to scale. And after talking to him, we realized he doesn't set the expectations well enough on the front end, and he doesn't make Luis look like he's the guy. And so if from the beginning the sales team is edifying the account manager that's gonna be involved rather than the founder, now you're passing that baton off and that credibility. So for example, when someone signs up with us, I'm like, hey, listen, if I'm signing them up, I'm like, I want your expectations to be straight. Number one, we're not gonna sit here and make you $1 million in the next 30 days. You're signing up with me, and in the next 90 days, you better mentally expect to not make a single dollar. And if we make you a single dollar in the next 90 days, we've exceeded expectations, okay? This is a 6-month agreement. It's gonna take us 3 months to get to point A. So number one, are you okay with that? Yes, I'm okay with that, great. Number two, I will not be attending any of your calls. I will be working behind the scenes, but in order for me, Eddie Malouf, to strategize and to bring value to your business, I cannot be on every single client call in my company. Therefore, I can't be on yours. But Christian is actually our lead strategist, and he's the mastermind behind all these accounts that we have online. All the names you see that we work with, all the case studies, it's because of him. It's not because of me. And so everyone comes in super excited. They never talk to me about problems anymore. They have expectations that it's gonna be okay. If I don't make anything for 3 monthly payments, we're gonna be in a good spot because I'm gonna make it before the 4th. So when we make money month 1, they're thrilled. When we make money month 2, they're thrilled. When we make money month 3, it's at expectations. Does that make sense? Now, you guys may think this is gonna hurt my close rate. Oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. Totally cool, because when you actually look at your numbers in the agency space, most of your cost is upfront, okay? Most of your cost is acquiring the customer, paying the sales commission, setting everything up. Like, this is where most of your cost is. After month 3, your cost goes down dramatically in the fulfillment side. So in reality, what you're doing is you're selling a bunch of people who are leaving at the point where you have the highest cost versus staying long enough to make it longer. I would rather close half the people and keep them for 6 months than close double the people and keep them for 3. Does that make sense? Very important. And as you guys grow your company, you guys may not be thinking about this now at the point you're at because you're trying to make money. At some point in the future, you're gonna wanna sell this company. And this number that we're looking at is the first number that they're gonna look at in the entire business. They're gonna see how involved are you, how dependent is it, and how long is a customer actually staying with you? Because that tells me how good your product is. Are we on the same page? Okay, cool. Is this too far in the clouds for you guys? You guys on the same page as me? Cool, great. So better expectations in the sales process, better in the onboarding process as well. Recurring AOV, this is number 2, super important. Average order value. How much is a client paying you on average? Can you put your hand up if a client pays you 1K a month or more? Just put your hands up, keep them up. Okay, put them down if the client doesn't pay you 3K a month or more. So keep them up if they're 3K a month or more. 5K a month or more? Nice, I like that, that's a lot of hands. 10K a month or more? 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, nice. Okay, solid. This is like the second most important number here, okay? I'm gonna show you how we took our business from nothing. So on the local side, we were servicing local business clients. We were doing Facebook ads for them when we first started. We were doing about $950K a month average ticket value. Now we do about $2,300 per month for the same customer base, same service. I'll show you what we did. On e-com, so just for reference, I have 3 sides of my business. I have a local side, so just local businesses that we work with. We have maybe like 100 plus clients. Then we have the e-commerce side, which is like Shopify stores, Amazon stores, probably have like 150 clients. And then we have the info side, which is like courses, coaching products, stuff like that. We take a % of the equity. We have about like 25, 30 clients on that side. So just kind of giving you a perspective. So e-com, we started doing $2,500 a month as a retainer. We thought that was a lot of money because at the time we were charging $1,000 on local. Now we charge over $13,000 a month average on e-commerce. On the info side, our average retainer is 75 grand a month. I want that to sink in. It took time to get here, okay? I just want to be clear. But I'm going to show you how we did this. Very simple. We started doing Facebook and Google ads for one audience, okay? I'm not telling you go and find 10 different kind of people to market to, okay? If you sell to chiropractors, just sell to chiropractors, okay? That's the trick here. It's not to get your attention divided. When you start dividing your attention on different people, I want to talk to chiropractors, I want to talk to roofers, I want to talk to dentists, you can't do this, okay? Because now you're trying to sell to 3 different people. Versus if I can make more from the same customer, I can spend so much more to sell a customer. So I can take over an entire marketplace. So we started doing Facebook and Google ads. Then we added email marketing. We went from $2,500 a month to $5K a month, okay? Then we acquired an Amazon agency. I'll show you at the end kind of what I'm doing here. But long story short, I got to a point where luckily we had money, we had a good infrastructure, we had good brand, and instead of going and like hiring someone to be an Amazon strategist, because I tried that multiple times and hope that they know what they're doing, I just went and bought a company that did Amazon that was really good at it, and now we own them, and now they're a part of our brand. And then so if you think about it, $2,500 a month, let's call it $5K a month, let's call it $7,500 a month. It's a bit more, but I'm just gonna keep it easy here. Now we're making $7,500 a customer. From an ad standpoint, I can spend so much more to acquire a customer now. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. So while my competitors maybe can only spend $1,500 to get a customer, I can spend 5 Gs. Like there's no way I can lose to those guys. And so what happens at that scale is now I start getting so many different people applying that I can't work with all of them because we want to work with people who maybe pay us $5K a month or more. So I had to figure out a solution to all my excess leads. Some of you guys, you know, this is called a downsell. Obviously, you guys know what that is at this point. But for some of you guys, that's like a done for you course. Like you guys can just go download this course for $1,000. You're not qualified to work with us, but we'll teach you what to do. For us, I was like, how do I turn it into a retainer? So basically, I went and I found an agency that was all based in Europe that was doing the same services that we were doing. And because their staff was all in Europe, I could charge half as much as I was charging in my main agency. So now I just took 90% of the leads that we're all turning away because they couldn't afford us, and now I had something else to sell them. This added a few $100,000 a month right away to our business. Does that make sense? Yeah? Cool. I'm seeing enough heads nodding, which is what matters. And then this next thing that we did is something that all of you guys can do in the room right now. I went back and I ran the numbers with my CFO this week just to get an accurate number. We grow about 7.5% a month. Think about our size, okay? We grow at 7.5% a month just from this one thing I'm about to show you. For perspective, that's 100% a year. We double our entire business from this one thing I'm about to share with you. It's gonna sound so stupid and so simple. You guys are gonna be like, why the fuck did we not even think of that? Or why aren't we doing that? And I commission all my account managers for upsells that they bring to the table, just like a salesperson. I pay them the same amount a salesperson would when they go and close a new customer. What do you think my account managers are doing now? Hey, dude, we're killing it on Facebook. I really think you should try out email marketing. We crush at email marketing. Here's some results. I'm looking at your account. I can do an audit for you. Great. Audit, boom, all of a sudden, in the door. Some of my account and this is the cool part. When you guys get to higher level clients, you want to pay account managers more. You want people who are like really good at talking, who really know their shit, who like are dealing with higher level clients. Because if someone's paying you 10 grand a month, the person talking to them on a daily basis better know their shit. You know what I mean? Otherwise, they're going to feel like they're burning 10 grand a month. So instead of having to increase my account manager's salaries, which is a fixed cost for me, I pay them 20% commission on any sale that they close. And so some account managers are making extra 4 or 5 bands a month just from this. So if someone's taking home four or $5,000 a month, that means they're bringing the business 20 to 25K a month of recurring revenue every single month. And they're the most qualified people to sell. It's not the salesperson anymore. The salesperson hasn't worked with this person in 4, 5, 6 months. They just sold them. But they're talking every single day to our account managers. They have the most trust. And so now, because I have more products for the same demographic, that's the key here, okay? Now it's very easy for my account managers to go when they're doing well and find other opportunities. The other part that's not in this presentation that makes it cool is if someone's working with us on Facebook, Google, and email, and ads aren't working, in a normal situation, client will fire us. We're done. In our situation, they'll stay on 1 out of the 3 services because they like our email marketing team. So I'll still retain a third of their retainer for a long ass time after they quit with us on ads. So it makes my business a lot safer. Instead of me losing a $15,000 a month retainer, I'll lose $10,000 out of the 15 because I can keep them on one service. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. AOV, that's number 2. Number 3, acquisition cost per customer, CPA. You guys already know this one, but I'm gonna walk through, I'm gonna change your psychology on it a little bit, okay? Questions here, how many can I acquire and how do I reduce this cost? So, 3 main ways that I feel like you acquire customers as an agency that's probably the fastest. So, quick and cheap, cold email. All of you guys, raise your hand if you do cold email. Hey, a round of applause, I like that. Thank you, client ascension team. Social outreach and cold calling, okay? These are the cheapest. They basically cost virtually no money except for maybe like $100 to pull a list, whatever it is. And you can do these all day long. This is how I started my agency as well, okay? What's the problem with quick and cheap? Can anyone guess? What is it? Scale, not the answer. What else? No? Someone else guess. Everyone can do it. Quick and cheap, everyone can do it. You're competing with Johnny in his bedroom at home. You're also competing with corporate companies that make $1 billion a year. You're competing with both sides of the spectrum. Quick and cheap is cool to get started, but it's not cool to scale because it doesn't give you a moat. My man Taylor Welch back there loves his moats. Quick and cheap, no moat. Everyone can do it, okay? Number 2, quick and expensive. This is a little bit harder to get into, right? Because you're gonna fork out money. So you eliminate some of the competition. Paid ads plus a great offer, okay? This is level 2 to acquisition, quick and expensive. The faster you can do quick and expensive, the better off you are. I'd recommend getting some clients in the door through email. As soon as you have them, take all that money, figure out paid ads as quickly as possible. Because you can only do so much with the cold email strategies you guys are doing. You can't go and put a closer full time with cold email because you can't fill up 40 hours a week of demos. So you're not gonna get a savage closer because he doesn't have enough demos. So that's why you gotta start getting into paid ads, because paid ads will fill up enough of your calendar on top of the emails to be able to bring in a savage closer and be able to close more people. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Number 3, slow and expensive. The hardest one, the one most of you guys in this room are not doing, which is why you can't compete with me, because I built a slow and expensive brand. Okay, this is organic content on YouTube. This is going out to events. This is everything that is not tangible from just outreach and paid ads, okay? This is the thing that takes time. This is the thing that takes money. This takes the most effort, and it has the slowest return. But when it starts returning money, you are on your own moat. People can't compete with us. I'm not competing with the same people I was competing with 2 years ago, not to be cocky, but because we have a brand. You know what I mean? Someone's coming to me and they're asking me for a proposal. I can charge $20,000 a month without blinking, and they'll take it. We charge $20K a month plus 30% net profit share for our clients. And there's no negotiating. And I have some of the biggest names, people who would never think to give a percent of their business up. All of them give us a percent of their business because we built brand. If I ran a paid ad with a great offer, they wouldn't come in. If I ran cold email, they wouldn't come in. But because I built brand, they can come in. And that's why we used to charge $950 a month, cold email. Then we started running paid ads. We started charging $2K a month. Then we started building brand. Now we can charge $20,000 a month. Does that make sense? Yes? Cool. Building brand, building referrals is obviously going to reduce your CPA over time, but here's where I want you to shift your mentality a little bit. Is it easier to reduce your cost per acquisition, or is it actually easier to get a customer to just spend more money with you every month? Something to think about. Both is the right answer, but if there's one, it's actually make more from every customer, okay? You already have the customers. You don't have to go find them. You don't have to convince them they're there. So I'll give you an example. If it costs me $1,000 to get a customer and I charge them $2,000 a month, my spread's $1,000. okay? I could reduce my CPA in half, 50%, which is like fucking hard, right? Like I could cut this thing in half and I would still only make $1,500 per customer, okay? Or I could get the customer to give me $1,000 more a month by providing something else, a different service, in the same area that I'm doing. The cost is actually very little for me to do something like this because they're already in my infrastructure, they already have an account manager, they already have all these things that take up so much cost as an agency. And so it's actually easier for me to charge them $300 a month. So at $3,000 at $3,000 a month, if my CPA is still $1,000, if I didn't reduce it, I have a $2,000 spread. This is a much better business than me sitting here and trying to work my way down and always reduce CPA. Now don't get this twisted. You should always be reducing your CPA for new customers. It should be one of the biggest objectives in your business every single day, okay? But I want you to understand that as difficult as that is, it's so much easier to just find a way to get the customer to give you more money. Does that make sense? Give me a yes. Awesome, there you go, still alive, okay. Tip, one of you guys was asking this earlier, when should we do this, when should we start? I kind of went back. I would say like the only time you're clear to go and start another service to the same industry is if you have at least 40 active clients. There's a reason for this. And then 10% less than 10% monthly churn. If your churn is higher than 10% a month, your product is not good enough. Product 1 still sucks, okay? If product 1 still sucks, launching product 2 is a horrible idea. We're just gonna lose more clients. We're gonna have more churn because they're gonna be on 2 services that suck. Does that make sense? Cool. 40 active clients, because at the end of the day, if you're gonna launch a new service, you're gonna need payroll, you're gonna need more people on it, you're gonna need its own little infrastructure inside of your company. Even though the cost may not be that big, you're gonna have your own infrastructure. So if I can get a quarter of my clients at 40 clients to sign up, that's 10 people, that's worth building an infrastructure for. If I only had 10 clients, there's no chance I'm gonna go sell 100% of my clients on this upgraded service that we're gonna charge. But 25% is very reasonable. So I like to be sitting at about 40 active clients so that I have my own ecosystem that I could sell other things to. We on the same page still? Nice. Cool. So again, like I said earlier, if I can acquire one customer and sell them multiple things, then therefore I can afford to put more effort into acquiring a customer. It makes it more worth it to start a YouTube channel. It makes it worth it to shoot ads. It makes it worth to spend money on ads. It makes it worth to build an entire team just for outbound email marketing because I can afford to spend more than everyone else. And so I might as well take advantage of that and spend more than everyone else to acquire a customer. And for me personally, I'm willing to spend, and probably more, but I'd say safe for you guys, if you're in a recurring business model, you should easily be willing to spend 100% of your retainer to acquire a customer. If I charge $5,000 a month, I'm willing to spend $5,000 to get a customer. I don't care. Next month I'm gonna make profit. Month after I'm gonna make profit. Profit, profit, profit. In reality, I'm willing to spend $10,000 a month to get a 5K customer. But I know my numbers. I know my customer value is over 300 days. So on average, a customer is gonna stay with us for over 10 months. So I don't care. I could spend 2 months of cost. I don't care because no one else against me can do that. They're all worrying about how much money they're gonna make this month. I don't care. Does that make sense? Yes? One more time, yes? There you go, nice, nice. Thank you guys. Best part is, I do this all to the same market, right? So like, I do it to e-com clients. I build the whole ladder of all the services. Then I do it for info clients. I build the whole ladder of services. And the reason is, now I'm advertising to the same market. And because I'm not trying to sell services to multiple different people, my AOV goes up per customer. They're all the same type of customer. It allows me to afford more. Now I can send team members to events that I can't go to. I can spend way more money on ads. I can spend way more money on cold outreach because it's all the same demographic. I can take over an entire marketplace rather than spreading myself too thin across the board, okay? And so, yeah, so basically that's pretty much it. I'm not diluting myself in other marketing. It's all going to the same exact people. And number 4, talent, okay? Taylor's gonna give you a whole speech about this at the end and go into this a lot more detail. I'm gonna give you some high-level stuff on the talent side for you guys. Based on everything we've talked about, if I can afford more profit, I can afford to pay better people and have less headaches and better service, therefore reducing churn, okay? I want you to write this down. This is the metric that I measure my entire life with as an ROI. Headaches per dollar earned. Write this one down. This will change your life, okay? Not all money is good money. The amount of headaches per dollar that I earn is what I measure. I can make $100,000 a month net from a business. If that shit drives me crazy, I don't want it. I'd rather take a business that gives me $30K a month passively and I don't even worry about it. Okay, headaches per dollar earned is the most important metric of your entire fucking life. Whether you're in agency space, I don't care what else you do, this is the most important metric for you guys, okay? So number one rule for me for acquiring talent, and I'll give you guys kind of a caveat to this for you guys. Do not hire based on potential. Hire based on experience. This will change your life, okay? I talked to a lot of you guys yesterday. Number one, a lot of you guys need to hire in the first place, okay? For those of you guys in the room that are making like 20, 30 grand a month plus, and you don't have an actual solid team, it's time to take your money that you've saved up in the piggy bank and go get a savage and put another savage on your team, okay? No NBA team wins a championship with one man. They always got 2, 3 people on the roster that are absolute savages, okay? Same's gonna go with the agency space. And so when you're first getting started, you can't afford to hire based on experience. This is the reality of the situation. I understand that. So you need to save in your piggy bank as much money as possible to be able to finally go and afford a killer. And wherever your weakness is at, that's where you're gonna go pay the killer. So if you're a savage salesperson, you need to go get a savage ops person. That doesn't mean you get on an interview, you're like, man, this guy's really organized. He knows ClickUp. Like, this is a savage, man, I can tell. No. You go and you get someone who's like 10 steps ahead of you, okay? If your agency's doing 30 grand a month, you go hire someone who's done it for 250K, for 300K a month, and then you bring him into your business, okay? The reality is the difference between the dude who's done it for 250K a month and the dude who's been in an agency for 50K a month is like a 2 to 3 grand salary per month, okay? And that is the spread of talent that you get for the extra 2 to 3 grand a month, 30K a year extra. So save as much money as you can. This is all I did. All I did was just save money. All my friends were buying nice shit, Lambos, Day-Date watches, the whole 9 yards, $500 t-shirts, $7,000 shoes. They were buying it all. I didn't give a shit. I stored as much money as I could, and now I own the talent pool. There is not a single person who worked for another big company that was fucking elite that I don't go and headhunt and I pay them more every single time. I've gotten senior executives to leave Hyros to come work with me on one call because I have the money to do it. They go, oh, I can't be hired. I go and I get people who are running an agency making 75 grand a month, and I go and I hire him the same day because I have the money to do so. I have it in the piggy bank. And so this is why I win. And this is why I don't right now have to be worrying about client stuff, the business is money, because I saved enough in the piggy bank to go get all the savages and put them on my team. And so if there's anything I advise you to do, if you're trying to do this seriously and grow over the next few years, you need savages on your team. You need A players. And the more B and C players you have on your team, the less A players you will retain because they will have to baby the B and C players. And it will drive them insane and you will lose all your A players. So from the get-go, from the top down, you need to stop spending all your money on other shit, put it in the piggy bank, and start going and overpaying a little bit to get those A players to work with you when your company's too small. Are we on the same page? Yes? One more yes? Awesome, thank you guys. Cool, and just like you have a client onboarding process, you need to have an employee onboarding process. A lot of you guys don't have this. I know it. I've talked to a lot of you guys already. Okay, we have an entire week to 2 week training program per role in our entire company. If you come in as a client success manager, you have an entire training period of 1 to 2 weeks of watching videos, of specific meetings, of tasks that you have to do to get on board with a company. Same with a media buyer, same with an email designer, same with a salesperson. We have an entire onboarding process. You could join, not know anything, and by the end of the 2 weeks, you know everything. But again, I don't hire based on potential, I hire based on experience. So I bring people in with these skill sets that are already good. I'm not gonna go and train someone how to copyright. I'm gonna go get a savage copywriter, and then I'm gonna spend a week training him on how we do it here at our company. But he already has the skill sets to think for themselves. He already has the skill set to bring his own ideas to the table. He has all those things, but I need to give him the box that we play in. You can play anywhere you want as long as it's in this box. Does that make sense? So this is the biggest ROI on your time as a founder right now, I promise you, because what's happening, I talk to a lot of you guys, you hire someone and then you train them. And you train them in person or over the calls, whatever it is, and you're exchanging your time for training someone that could potentially not be a good fit and leave in a month. But if you just turn this into content, you turn it into a Kajabi course, a Google Drive program, a Google Doc with SOPs, you do that one time, it takes you a couple days, and you never have to train another person in your company. Okay, this is like the most valuable ROI to scale. So many of us are so focused on how do we get more clients, we neglect how do we get more talent. And how do we keep that talent just like we keep the clients? It's a two-sided coin. We gotta get talent and keep them as long as possible, and we gotta get clients and keep them as long as possible. And that's the agency game in like four words right there. You know what I mean? So let's talk about some advanced shit. This is pretty cool. You guys know what mergers and acquisitions are? All right, cool. I'm going to forward you guys a few years if you don't. So basically, my entire strategy, I don't even know how much I have written here, but contradictory what most people say, I think it's actually faster to build 3 agencies at one time than to build one agency 3 different times back to back, okay? I'll tell you why. I don't have to run any of the agencies that I acquire, and all I do is just go and get them. So I'll give you an example. I was talking about the low ticket guys that I acquired in the Amazon agency I acquired earlier, okay? I tried to sit there and try to figure it out in-house. I was like, okay, how do I don't know shit about Amazon, but I know Amazon's a service that we can sell to everyone. Let me hire an Amazon guy. I went through 3 different Amazon guys in my business that all ran circles around me, pretending they knew what to do. And then I found out that they didn't know what to do and they sucked, whatever reason, they didn't have that responsibility. And then I ended up kicking them out. I wasted an entire year trying to figure out Amazon. Instead, I just went to an agency that was really sick at Amazon, but sucked at running an agency. They couldn't get clients, they couldn't hire people, but the results were exceptional. The dudes knew exactly what to do. They knew how to scale an Amazon store. So I went up to them and I didn't say, hey, I'm gonna buy 100% of your company. I said, hey, listen, I'm gonna take 70% of your company. I'm gonna pay you $0. I'm gonna give you a salary that's more money than you're taking home. So for example, that agency owner was taking home $8K a month. I said, I'll pay you $15K every month. You own 30% of the company still. You make double take home every month. If the company loses money, you still make 15 grand. It doesn't matter. Your take home secure and it's double what it is now. You're gonna come in as a 30% partner. We're gonna own 70%. Do the hiring, we're gonna do the marketing, we're gonna do everything. You just need to deliver the best Amazon results possible. That's it. And so I did it for Amazon. I went and did it for the low ticket e-com side. And now we just went through a merger with Heeman Group, which is Ash and Shanks. So now we merged into a bigger company. So now we have one big company and a bunch of little agencies under us, but they're all named bad marketing. And from the outside, no one would know the difference. We're all partners. Everyone has a partner title. It doesn't matter. But I have I'm talking 0% of time in any of those agencies. And they make 6 figures a month each. 0 time. And we own 70% of all of them. And so as you guys grow, I want you to think outside the box. A lot of your problems are solved by teaming up with someone else. And most of the time, someone else doesn't actually want to own 100% of something. They just want a certain amount of money that they can take home with a certain amount of headaches. I was talking to someone yesterday here in the group. They have 2 kids. And they were like, I make over 50K a month right now. But like, I think honestly, I really just want to make 20K a month. And I was like, why? He's like, I want to spend time with my kids. And so if you think about that scenario, most people would see, oh, dude, this guy takes home 600K a year plus. Like, no way I can go hire him to work with me. But what if I went to him and I said, hey, dude, I'll pay you 20 grand a month, every single month, guaranteed salary, and you don't have to go find clients. You don't have to do all this shit. You work the hours that there are. You don't have to work off hours. You go spend time with your kids every single day. You go to their tournaments on weekends. You do the things that you want. But I know you're worthy of 50 grand a month plus that you can bring to our company because you've done it for yourself. And so if I put you in your zone of genius, you gotta be able to make more money than that for the business. So I'm willing to go pay you a 20 grand a month salary to come be a part of my company. Does that make sense? Okay, I know this is like future stuff for you guys, but I wanna kinda expand your mind because I learned this too late in the game. And if I learned this 2 years ago, I would be at 400 employees right now with 5 million a month in revenue. But I just learned this last year. And so my first acquisition happened last March, then it happened last May, then we just went through a merger again, like a month ago, okay? And so this is a way to speed up the entire process because one day, whether you like to think so or not, you're gonna sit down, you're gonna say, I wanna sell this thing. This isn't something I actually wanna do for the rest of my life. 10 years is a long ass time, trust me. By the time you get 10 years of doing this, you're gonna be like, bro, I don't care how much money I'm making, look at all these gray hairs, guys. Like, this came from this, you know what I mean? And so you're gonna think about that one day. And so when you're all compiling yourself into one bigger company, you sell for a bigger multiple. You sell for a lot more money. And the cool part is I'm not doing it alone anymore. I have partners in all these companies. We're all friends. We all bring value to the table. The brand is getting bigger because now I have 6, 7 partner heads who are all generating business. It's not all dependent on Eddie Maloof anymore. I have multiple partners, and all of us bring deals to the table every single month. So on top of the sales team, on top of the ads, on top of the organic content, the outbound, all the stuff that we're doing, I have 6 people just like me who are bringing revenue to the business every single month, which makes my life easier as well, which makes us grow faster. They each deal with the responsibilities, and we grow a lot faster. Does that make sense? I know this is kind of out there, but cool, yes? Okay, cool. Last thing, blah, blah, blah. Was this valuable? Yes?